Hi everybody and welcome to a new video. Today I'll be doing a vlog of Anoka. It's nighttime, it's spooky, I'm gonna have some creepy music on, and the book's really short. I'm planning to read it all tonight. So yeah, let's begin. Oh, also let me just say this, that I actually read 10 pages already. But for the reading vlog, I'm going to start it over. Alright, so the first story is really short. It's only 2 pages long, and it's about, they're elderly. Yeah, elderly couple and a baby. I don't think the baby was a baby. It was interesting. Okay, so like I said, I read half of the second one because I read 10 pages. I read the first one already. I read some of the second one, and this reread of the first time, I noticed that I didn't realize that the wife in here has a leather-bound book. Remember right, the character in the second story finds a leather-bound book. Connection? It's an anthology series, so most likely. Let me read on. Wait a second. I won't have spoilers in this because I want everyone to read this. It's going to be just my thoughts go out. But there's a character who dies in the beginning. A child. The first one was a baby. Connection.
Book update. This is like my second time filming this. But I read the first 2 stories, which was Soil-Born and Wounded. And Soil-Born is ready to start up the story in a really good way, because when I was reading Wounded, I noticed that things that seem normal in a story, like a description, is actually very important, because I noticed a couple things in Wounded that kind of connected to Soilborn. For one thing is the leather-bound book that the elderly lady had in the first story. The main character in the second story finds that book. I'm assuming it's the same one. And I'm also gonna assume that the elderly couple is actually the grandparents of the boy. No, he's not a boy. The man in the second story. That's a guess. I'm assuming. It's very connected. This is what I'm thinking. And it's very interesting because Soulborn, I was a bit confused because, with the baby, because I'm like, is the baby human? I don't think so. But the second story starts out with talking, and this is not a spoiler because it's like the first paragraph, or literally the first page where it describes it, where Philip, the main character in that story, he has a lot of guilt because he was 17. He didn't pick up his 12-year-old sister from school and decided to go out drinking. He ended up being kidnapped and murdered. And they found her buried with her like hand sticking out. I know, really graphic. But my first thought actually went to the baby for some reason. Like, they buried the baby in the soil-born. We found the young sister in the ground, in the soil. I'm just like, connections. But yeah, Wounded, the ending got really graphic, and I was living for it. It was great. It was intense because you can tell the main character is struggling a lot with everything that happened. And this was, so he was 17 when it happened, and it's like 16 years later. But yeah, so I'm gonna start Orange. That's the third story, and it's really short. Oh, damn. Okay, that's good. That's interesting. So I just finished Orange. It's really short, but damn. I okay, I don't want to do spoilers because I want everyone to read this first, but when you read Orange, you'll understand why it's called Orange by the end. And oh my god, damn. What I like about this book so far is that it's more like the horror is life, you know. I can't say horror, right? I feel like I think each story is going to be very what's the word? There's a reason why for everything. I don't know how to explain this, but damn. I hate Orange. That's literally the last sentence, 3 letters, and I'm just like, oh my god. I know what that means. If you read it, you know what it means. Oh, that was tough. That was a good one. I feel like the horror story is life instead of something supernatural. And I feel like it's like one of those commentary where the supernatural elements is there, but the real scary part is what happens, if you know what I mean. A horror story is not a supernatural creature or demon. It's us in a way. Like, it's what our actions do, especially how it affects people and ourselves. And it's gonna be the guilt. I feel like the horror story is the guilt. Okay. Damn, that was good. A coffee, perfect for this reading vlog. I need my creepy music. I feel like during the day it's easier because at night I was actually kind of freaked out because my window was open. I mean, I know no one's gonna come in because, I mean, who would want to kidnap me? Just kidding. If you read this book, tell me what you think. What? Oh, that's spooky. Demon child. Allergic? Bitch. No, you're not. So I just finished the story, like, actually I didn't just finish it. I finished it like 30 minutes ago. I had a meeting with my counselor and I have an update. So the story I finished was Imitate, and it's the 4th story, and I have 2 more to go. It was bizarre. I feel like the endings is when it's really like, holy crap, what's happening? It's happening. I don't want to spoil it though. I want everyone to like read it. So, if you know what happens, you know what happens. But I was like shocked. It was a twist, like a really scary twist and a nightmare for a parent, especially. But I noticed a couple of things. Is that it's always a death of a child with drinking problems and guilt in a way. And if you read this book, you know what I mean. And it just has a lot going on. Not in a bad way, but like one where you're just like, oh my god. It's just so... It's really showing what's more scarier in a way. But yeah, that story was crazy. The ending was crazy. I was shocked. I was bamboozled. But what made it even more scarier is the father going crazy? It's scary as hell. I get such Children of the Corn vibes. But the ending is a shocker. I was shook. But yeah, I'm gonna start the next story, which is Dead America. It's gonna be good. So I'll check in. Right now I actually have to do some school stuff. Very important school stuff, so I may finish this later on today. Yeah, I'll check back in later.
Finished Dead America, and it was different for some reason. I felt like it was more because the other stories, they were more, not elements, but I feel like Dead America was really a man fighting himself. In the difference of the first story where the character was, or the second story where the character was more of had all these things going on, so did this one, but he was alone, if that makes sense. It was a good ending. It was a different ending as well. I liked it. It was creepy. It was gruesome. You will get the gore in this book. But yeah, so the next story the last story is called Transfigured. So I may as well. Damn. Okay, so I just finished Transfigured, and Children of the Corn times 1 billion right there. But I didn't notice this before. The author has story notes of each story, which y'all know I'm about to read it right now. So. Well, I finished it. Ooh, okay. Wow. This book. In reading this, you can tell how much the author put in writing these stories, and it's not just for the sake of being gory or for the sake of being a shock value. It's all there for a reason, and it's intense, and it's really good. And I loved it. Each story has a strong message to tell. This is a must-read book. I enjoyed every bit of it. Some parts were a bit vague, but thankfully the author has notes for each story. I'm not gonna lie, most of these stories did freak me out, and I'm glad I didn't read this at night. Actually, I'm actually kind of sad I only read the first 2 at night, but it would have been way more creepier if I read the rest at night. Imitate was the freakiest one. Well, I mean, actually, that last story, how that ended, scary as hell. And it's just, I feel like this book has to be read. It needs to be told. Everyone needs to read it. And it's really short, 78 pages. I wanted to break it up in pieces to digest it more. And even when I did that, I still have no words because it was so damn good. And it's just fantastic. So yeah, I'll link down where you can get a copy, because if you have a chance, get a copy. So good. I cannot wait to read the werewolf comic to come out. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And yeah, peace.